Oh my god, it is I, an imperfect person. So I heard you want to do a bit of spring cleaning, and you can't see yet, but same. Look at her. So hopeful, so full of optimism that her ADHD wouldn't turn an afternoon of decluttering and rambling about sustainability into a near feature-length video breaking down the fast that is donating your unwanted clothing. Hello. It is editing alert. What started as an afternoon shoot of going through my wardrobe and discussing pragmatic sustainability tips for shopping and buying clothes turned into a 4-day spiral of me becoming overwhelmed and exasperated by the entire process and the sheer impact I was having on our planet. So I figured after going through this process of editing to save you the trouble of sitting through an hour of my ramblings, I've split this video into 2. Expect tidbits about my own failings in sustainable shopping, side rants about veganism, the gentrification of thrift stores, and shocker, the complete unsustainability that is mining. I ask you to bear with me. I have some pretty good points. I hope you enjoy the absolute unraveling of my little brain that is about to unfold, which is metaphorically represented by my hair throughout the video as it slowly gets worse and worse, and then eventually looks nice and fresh and bouncy again once I actually clean my room. Preface this video and apologize for the low quality of the video. At one point, it got very dark in my room when I was filming late into the afternoon and evening. It kind of messed with my settings. I tried to adjust a few different things, and so aperture and ISO got kind of blown out, and so it does get a little bit grainy. So please bear with me for that. It does get better towards the end of the video. If you haven't already, please show my channel some love. I'm on my way and hopefully getting towards my goal of 1,000 subs by the end of the year. So I'd really appreciate any support you can give me, even if it's negative, even if it's really bad feedback, that's fine. Leave a comment, let me know. I want to improve, I want to do better. So enjoy the rest of the video. My family's decluttering and going through, lots of personal effects. I just want to make space for my sort of 3 boxes that I'm bringing back from all the memorabilia and different things that I've brought from my parents' storage shed. So we're going to go through clothes today, and I thought, what a better opportunity to talk about shopping and sustainability and how you and me, and reflecting on my past purchases and things that weren't necessarily the best purchase at that current point in time, reflecting on how we could approach shopping a little bit more sustainably. Clothes. It's kind of a standard conundrum I feel like most of us end up in, where we are kind of obsessed with just kind of buying things that are convenient and cute and suit the trend of the current time, and then don't really consider anything beyond that, including if things actually fit. I'm probably expecting that you've been yelled at probably quite a bit on YouTube about, fast fashion and how the clothing industry is incredibly detrimental to our environment and the communities that are being exploited for their cheap labor. I won't focus on that too much. I will focus a little bit more on how you and me can be a little bit more conscious in our shopping efforts. Yeah, I just thought as I was going through my closet, I could kind of talk to those points. So let's go. Okay, before we go any further, I just want to, take you through the steps of what sort of the main questions you should ask yourself when you are considering being a little bit more sustainable in your day-to-day shopping. Starting off with, do you need this? Do you need it, or do you want it? Both are fine, right? You want something, there's still a valid reason for getting it. If you need something, there's an even more valid reason for getting it. And if you don't need it, but you want it, do you love it? Does it bring you joy? And this is kind of the point where it's like, if you don't love it, but you're kind of like, oh, I kind of want that. Maybe you take a step away. Maybe you sleep on it. Maybe you wait for it to go on sale. Maybe you walk around the block. That's the point where you would sleep on it. And if you still think about it in a week or whatever, then go back and buy it. Yeah, that's the first one. So do you want it? Do you need it? And do you love it? The next one, does it fit you? Now this one's kind of crazy because it's like, generally speaking, when you are looking for clothes or you're looking for things to put on your feet or your hands or your head or whatever, the first thing you might think of is, does it fit me? I feel like most of us don't. I'll go into that a little bit more. But beyond the actual fit on your body, you actually do need to consider as well, does it fit my style? Does it fit my personal brand? I freaking hate that. Does it fit you? Does it fit how you want to portray yourself? And does it make you feel good when you put it on? Does it fit? I guess the next one is where you start looking into more sustainability stuff, and that is, how is it made? High quality? Is it well made? Are the materials, going to fall apart? Are they made from natural materials? Are they sturdy? Will they wash well? Like what is the important criteria for you to make sure that the material that it is what you need for what you're going to wear it for? And how are those materials or the way it was made potentially impacting the world around you? The next one's focusing a little bit more on where the research comes in. Who is the money going to? Where is the money going? When you buy this thing, where is the money going to? Is it going to a massive conglomerate? Is it a good corporation? Do you want to support them? Is it going to like a local craftsman? Is it going to, a nonna down the street who makes little tea cozy hats? Like, who's the money going to? How is it going to come back into the community? Who is that impacting in that way? And the last one, thanks, Bear. How will it be thrown away? Are you just going to, are you buying this and going, if I don't like it in a year, I'll just thrift it? Is it going to disintegrate in a year and you have to put it in the trash? Is it going to last you your whole life? How is it going to be thrown away? Now, there's probably a lot more of these that I'm missing. So comment down below. Love to hear any other suggestions on ways that you could potentially filter through. Now, I'll work through one by one. I'm procrastinating because I have to make a big mess and then I actually have to clean it up, which stressed me out. So... all right, time-lapse, let's go. I just wanted to touch on the first point about buying things that fit you. Buying things that fit you and your style. Now, there's going to be people in the comments who are going to be like, you know what? You. They're going to be mad. They're going to be pissed off because they're like, why, this is so stupid. Why would I buy things that don't fit me? And to you, I say, congratulations. I'm so happy that you have learnt from childhood that you should only buy things that fit your body and make you look good and suit your style, because it is something that I'm still trying to learn to this day. And honestly, if you've learnt that early on, I'm so proud of you. I don't know what's going on. I'm just like, I'm fussing. I don't know about you, and if you're super mad that this is even a point, skip to a different point in the video and learn about the sustainability things. But for me, I so commonly run into the issue of getting this idea of something that I want to buy and a certain style that I want to achieve. And I go out of my way to try to find this specific thing. So last year, it happened to be a pair of wide leg linen chocolate brown pants. And I was desperately trying to find a pair of chocolate brown wide leg pants, and I happened to stumble across a pair and was so excited about them. They were new in store, so they were, kind of expensive, and I put them on and they went over, they go over, and posing in the mirror and like trying to look cute and looking at my butt in them and I can make them look cute. If I stand a certain way, I make them look cute. And so I go, you know what, like I've been looking for these for a little while and I haven't found any in any other stores, so I'm gonna get these. I spent $150, and Queen, I'm a Corby girl. Okay, I have proportions that are not found in the majority of department stores or even boutiques. It is difficult to find things that fit me. I have quite a small little itty bitty waist, and then wide hips, a big ass booty, a little bit of a tum, and then big thick chunky thighs. And so finding pairs of pants that cater to my body type is very difficult. And so, for years I didn't actually wear pants at all. I didn't even look at pants. I never even shopped for pants. I still don't even look at shorts. Shorts is another thing. I don't go there. It's too much. I get upset. I get frustrated. So pants was that for a very long time. This chocolate pair of pants, I took them home. I was so excited. I, paired them with an outfit, got ready for work, put them on, stood up in a certain way, sucked my tummy in, and was like, yep, perfect. I look exactly how I want to. And then spend the day in them, and they are the most uncomfortable pair of pants I've ever bought. And I've just spent $150 on them. They are super tight around my waist, like really, really tight. And then they have all this extra fabric around my stomach. So it's like they're trying to cater for bigger women, but the only way you could be a bigger woman that would fit into these is to have an even smaller waist than mine, but a bigger belly, and then a really, really short crotch length. They would just like give me a wedgie every time I sat down. They gave me a huge camel toe. They were just like the worst things in the world. But I kept them because, I spent this money and they've sat in my wardrobe. I've worn them a couple more times when I kind of forget about how uncomfortable they are and how I hate them. And I put them back on because I'm like, these are cute. I bought something that didn't fit me. because I wanted a certain look. Now, this can happen the other way as well. This can happen if you buy something that just fits you. It fits you. And as I said, I'm a Corby girl. And I have gone through a very long phase in my life where I only bought things that fit me. And I didn't buy things that gave me joy. I didn't buy things that made me feel good. I bought things that fit me. And that usually means that I'm shopping in plus size stores that cater towards 50-plus-year-old women going on their first cruise. Usually very bright colors, lots of diamantes bedazzled on. You know the look. Caftans, blah, blah, blah. But I shopped at a lot of these stores because I was under the belief that I could never find anything that was my size and would look good on me. And so I just bought things that fit. And this isn't buying things that fit you. This is buying things because you feel guilty about the body that you live in. And so you don't feel like you are deserving to wear something that looks nice and makes you feel good because you feel like you need to punish yourself for many different reasons. The chances are, if you're not that one person who's really mad in the comments saying like, why the hell are we talking about things that fit you? Chances are you will prioritize either something fitting you over style, or you will prioritize style over something fitting you really well. And I'm going to go out there and say, if it doesn't fit you and it's not your style, or either or, don't buy it. Don't spend your money. You don't need to look that way. You probably have clothes. You have clothes. You're probably wearing clothes right now. I hope you are. If you're put on clothes, come back, or don't listen to me, whatever. Congratulations, I'm proud of you. You have clothes. You probably have clothes, so you don't need to buy them. You do not need to look that certain way, but you can keep it in mind. And when you come across the right pair that fits you and suits your style, you will get really excited and you'll be able to spend that money because you haven't been spending money willy-nilly on stupid things that don't fit you. Crazy stuff. I know, it's revolutionary. One of the best pieces of advice I can give you, if you are the type of person like me in a period of their life, or are currently going through a period in their life where they feel like nothing looks good on them, they just need to wear, t-shirts, oversized pants, huge oversized dresses, tent dresses, cover up every part of your body, never look like a shape, just look like a blob, and like you look fine. The best piece of advice I can give you is, if you're on social media, go and follow people who have the same body type as you. Go and find a model or an artist or someone who has the same body type as you and a style that you really like. So I stumbled across Ashley Graham, and Ashley Graham is this gorgeous human being who is a plus size model, and she is always styled in a way that's almost effortless, casual, beautiful. It accentuates her curves, makes her look confident, but she is not trying to hide who she is, and she always looks beautiful. And so I started surrounding myself with influencers and things that made me feel confident and happy in my body because I could see other people looking good in that body type. I grew up in the 2000s, 2010s. I was never the size of the girls that were in media, and that made me feel shame and guilt. And even when I was at my fittest, I still didn't look like them. I always had a booty. Even as an 11-year-old, I always had a booty, and I never fit into jeans. I still can't wear jeans. I can never find a pair of jeans that fit me comfortably and I can actually sit down in without constricting myself entirely. And I've come to a point in my life where I just go, that's okay. That's fine. Find people who dress the way that you want to dress and have a similar body type to you. Stop trying to wear things that, these gorgeous models with, no boobs and, skinny little bums, wearing these super oversized flare pants and, crop tops that you don't wear a bra in because they don't have big floppy boobs that kind of flip-flop around. But at the same time, if you still want to dress like those skinny mini models and you don't give a shit if your boobs are flip-flopping around, then go for it. Go for it. I don't care. No one cares. No one actually cares. That's probably the best bit of advice. No one actually cares. Dress how you want. But if you do care and you are concerned about other people, just like I am, highly anxious individual, then start surrounding yourself with people who you actually want to look up to and what is an achievable standard that you can attain. Ashley Graham was one of the biggest reasons that I started wearing more form-fitting dresses. I started wearing knits. It's how I've essentially curated this wardrobe. Every time I look at my wardrobe, I can put something on that I feel happy and confident in. I still have my days, but regardless, this is probably a really good piece of advice I can give you. But the main theme, buy something that fits your body. Buy something that fits your body and buy something that fits your style. If you don't know your style, start looking at influencers and people around you who have a similar body type to you and you can attain the way that they look. Or just find a style. And even if you don't look exactly like that person, if you really like that pair of pants, but you know, they hug your thighs instead of draping off them, and you are happy with the way that you look in them, then be confident and proud of who you are, because your body is perfect exactly the way it is. You know, you might be unhealthy, you might be sick, you might be whatever. It doesn't matter. You can still wear whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're healthy. It doesn't matter if you're unhealthy. You can still wear whatever the fuck you want. Thank you, Suki-chan. Thank you, baby. So this next page, I finished. It's hot. I put my hair up, but this is my little helper. Hello, baby. Yeah? Did you catch that? I'm going to wrap up tonight and go to the ballet, and then I will see you in the morning for the last third of my wardrobe. Goodbye. I love you. Thank you for spending this day with me, and I'll see you in the morning. It's totally 3 days later. I got to the end of that and went to the ballet, had a great time, then spent the next day with my boyfriend. And so, yes, I've been living with that pile of donate clothes on the floor, and all my shoes are still strewn on my floor, and all of the high vis that I pulled out is still on my floor. I have so much high vis clothing. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna spend the rest of the afternoon trying to finish that up. So the second point that I've been trying to make, but I haven't because I got too distracted sharing all my clothes with you and talking you through my decisions, was essentially looking at how an item is made. So you've gone through, do I want, do I need, do I love? You've gone through, does it fit? Does it fit my style? Does it fit my body? And now you're at a point, you're like, yep, it fits my style. Yep, it fits my body. I want it and I love it. I don't necessarily need it, and that's okay. And so now you're at a point where you're like, okay, well, now what? Is that it? Is that sustainability? No. You now go, okay, well, how was it made? How was this thing made? Is it impacting the world around it when it's being produced? And so one of the general things you kind of want to look at is the materials that it's being made out of, as well as the way it is being made and the quality of the item itself. So I tend to look at if the materials are more natural. I find that things that are made mostly from plastics like polyester or elastane or things like that, even though they make things more comfortable, more stretchy, they are still full of plastics, and these items often hold on to sweat in a really weird way, and so they tend to smell or stain differently. Generally speaking, especially in fast fashion, if you're, shopping in places that are known to have more sort of fast fashion items, look for things that are made out of more natural materials, so at least when they're disposed, they're not leaching microplastics. That's generally what I look at. You might start looking at like your linens, your silks, cottons and leathers, and just before the vegans kind of chime off, I can make an entire video about veganism and why maybe we don't understand veganism the way that we should be in terms of its impact on our planet. But generally speaking, veganism isn't necessarily that sustainable. So yes, leathers and especially wools are really, really sustainable. So natural materials, try to sort of look for things that are made out of stuff more naturally. I find a lot of materials now are blended. If you can try to find something that's, 50% or higher natural materials, that's always a good thing to aim for. But just be conscious about it. Be aware of what you're buying, and that will sort of start you on the process of trying to understand what impact your clothes might be having on the planet, and especially if your focus is on plastics. One thing that you might get trapped in is that not all natural materials are made the same. And so there are definitely natural materials out there that do have negative impact on our planet. Generally speaking, in sustainability, everything has both bad and positive impacts. And so when you're thinking at it from a place of natural materials, there are definitely some that have a much higher footprint than others. For example, a lot of cottons are made with a very high intensity of water, and so it's generally not seen to be the most sustainable crop. Not necessarily the best thing that you can buy, but again, it's all about research. It's all about how you care about how you're impacting the planet and what you feel like is feasible for you. Cotton is the most common natural material that you can access in most, big box stores. So microplastics or potentially using more water. It's up to you. Research it, have a look, decide what is important to you and decide what makes sense for you. So you want to be conscious. Be conscious. Don't buy things and immediately assume that you're doing the world's greatest thing. Try to learn as much as you can about what it is that you think. If you go, oh, I'll get that because it's it's a natural material, then go, okay, what is a natural material? How is it made? You know, what chemical processes do they use? What bleaches have they used? What dyes have they used? How much water is used? How much emissions are produced when they produce it? Look into it, and then you can start comparing and contrasting for yourself. Once you've kind of started having a look at the actual materials and how the clothes are being made, then you can start looking a little bit more at the actual quality of the item itself. Generally speaking, you want to find things that are higher quality. That doesn't necessarily mean more expensive. So I think Bernadette Banner did a really good video on this, and I would highly recommend going and checking her out. She's so much more knowledgeable on this topic than I am. She essentially breaks down how to find quality, what you need to look for, and different things that you can do in department stores that can check like how well the item is made. Generally speaking, the quality of the item can indicate the pressures that the workers who made the item of clothing were under. So one of the key things that I remember from her video was, you know, hold the seam up to a light and stretch it ever so slightly. And if you can see the sort of lighting through the seam holes, it means they were rushed to make that item, and the stitches have had to be stretched a little bit, and it generally means that they were rushed, and so maybe they're, you know, under extreme time constraints to make a certain number of clothes in a short amount of time. And so that generally means that they might not be in the best working environment, and so you might not necessarily want to support how it was produced. And so quality can indicate not only the support of better conditions for the workers who have made the items, but quality can also be something that will last you longer. So you can look at a quality item that even if you're in a really cheap, you know, kind of fast fashion store, you can tell which items have been made with a little bit more care and a little bit more precision. And so you can actually see, yes, you're in a fast fashion store, yes, you might be at like a Target or a Kmart, but if you pick the items that, you know, you might prioritize as, well, this one's been made better, the seams are tighter, the stitches are shorter, or whatever it might be, that can kind of indicate back to the producers, hey, people appreciate quality, people appreciate that, you know, this has had the time to be made well. Really important. I think the hardest thing with all of this is that a lot of it is just research and time, and the more you do it, the more you will be able to distinguish between what's important to you, what is genuinely sustainable versus what is greenwashing, because there's a lot of greenwashing going on in the clothing industry at the moment, because they've recognized that, you know, consumers like us have turned around and gone, hey, can we have better made clothes please, and can you treat your workers better? And so they go, oh, okay, and so they find these weird little loopholes of like putting like a little green leaf on the label and saying sustainably sourced cotton, and but then, you know, you might go on their website and there's no information about it whatsoever, and so it's like, well, that what about that makes it sustainable, you know? Yeah, it's just research. It's just like starting to sort of look into what makes a piece of clothing sustainable in terms of how it's made, and you decide on what's feasible for you, what's within your budget, what's the best option that you can opt for within your constraints of your own life. This is the end of part 1. I hope you got to take away some decent information from this. Obviously, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense without the final few parts in the second part of the video, but part 2 will be out next week, and will give you that sort of final context for you to start making more conscious decisions when you go shopping. So yeah, keep an eye out for my part 2 of my unhinged rambling about how unsustainable donating clothing can be, and perhaps that we've maybe been thinking it's a little bit more sustainable than it actually is. Surprise, surprise. All right, have a really good day. Bye.